They called themselves the Morgal, survivors of acid storms, gravity spikes, and carnivorous winds, feared across 83 systems, conquerors of 8 death worlds. When they landed on Earth, they thought it would be their 9th. They were wrong. The Morgal Empire had a simple philosophy: survive the unsurvivable, conquer the unconquerable. Their home planet, Thex, killed 90% of its population before they reached adulthood. Those who lived became legends. 7-foot-tall beings of chitin and muscle adapted to temperatures that would boil most species' blood. They breathed methane, drank liquid nitrogen, and considered molten sulfur a refreshing bath. When their scouts reported a small blue planet with liquid water, oxygen atmosphere, and carbon-based life, Commander Korthax had laughed. A garden world? With mammals? This will be done by lunch. His lieutenant, Zephix, pulled up the data. Sir, the inhabitants call it a death world. Everything is a death world to the weak, Korthax scoffed. We conquered Hellgate 4, where the rain is literally fire. What could this Earth possibly offer? Famous last words. They landed in Australia. Preliminary scans show minimal technology, Zephix reported as they exited their ship. No energy weapons, no force fields, no, what is that? A kangaroo bounded past. Just hopping. Casually. With a baby in its pouch. It keeps its offspring in a flesh pocket? Zephix whispered. Focus, Korthax growled. We have a magpie dive-bombed him. The commander of the Morgal Empire, conqueror of worlds where the ground itself tried to eat you, shrieked and ran in circles as a small bird pursued him with single-minded fury. Tactical retreat, he screamed. Back at their ship, Korthax tried to regain composure. A fluke. We'll establish base camp elsewhere. Somewhere less aggressive. They chose North America. Specifically Yellowstone. The geothermals here are pleasant, Zephix noted. Almost like home. Sir, interrupted Scout Vex, the locals are entering the hot water. Voluntarily. They watched in horror as humans cheerfully soaked in the thermal pools. The water is 94 degrees Celsius. Zephix scanned frantically. Their skin should be melting. They appear to be relaxing? Vex sounded broken. And consuming fermented poison, another scout added, watching tourists drink beer. For recreation. Korthax steadied himself. We're Morgal. We don't flee from primitives who bathe in death water. Scout the wildlife. Find their predators. We'll start there. 3 hours later, Scout Vex returned. Alone. Covered in mud. Missing equipment. Report. Korthax barked. The squirrels were watching me, Vex whispered, rocking back and forth. Planning. They took my scanner. As a coordinated unit. Squirrels? The small tree rodents. They're organized. And the moose. He shuddered. Commander, the moose flipped our supply rover. It wasn't even angry. Just inconvenienced. This is madness, Korthax muttered. Fine. We'll try their cities. Civilized areas. How dangerous can? Sir, Zephix interrupted. I've been researching their culture. They have something called Florida. The reports are concerning. Show me. The hologram displayed news headlines. Florida man wrestles alligator for beer. Florida woman rides manatee to Walmart. Florida child sells lemonade to buy rocket launcher. These can't be real, Korthax said weakly. Cross-referenced across multiple sources, sir. Also, they have a children's activity called Minecraft. And they ride pigs into lava. For fun. Silence fell over the command deck. Perhaps, Korthax said slowly, we should observe more before conquering. They sent infiltration units to gather intelligence. Each report was worse than the last. Sir, Unit 3 reporting from a birthday party. The juveniles have been given sugar and, sir, they're unstoppable. One has attached itself to my leg. It's showing me drawings. So many drawings. Unit 7 here. Attempted to infiltrate a gym. Humans are voluntarily undergoing torture. They pay currency for this. When asked why, one said gains, bro, and offered me a protein shake. I'm scared. Unit 1, sir, the child has glitter. I repeat, glitter. It won't come off. IT won't come off. This isn't war. It's psychological collapse, Zephix observed. The breaking point came when they discovered human entertainment. Commander, Vex said, showing a screen. They watch something called horror movies. For enjoyment. They actively seek fear. And this. Korthax pointed at another screen. Jackass. They injure themselves. On purpose. For the amusement of others. Their technology is crude. Their chaos? Perfect, Zephix added, now sporting stress-induced molt patterns. Korthax made a decision. We're leaving. Sir? We've conquered worlds where breathing kills you. Where gravity changes hourly. Where the rain is acid and the sun screams. He paused. But we never faced a world that weaponized everything including joy. Earth is not advanced, it's deranged. As they prepared to leave, one final incident sealed their decision. A small human child, perhaps 5 years old, approached their ship. She held a flower. For you, she chirped, handing it to Vex. He accepted it cautiously. She's giving me a weapon? It's a dandelion, the child explained. Make a wish and blow. Vex did. The seeds scattered. Within minutes, his scans showed the plant spreading. Everywhere. Unstoppable. It's a biological weapon disguised as a gift, he stammered. From an infant. Why is the sky so loud? Another Morgal suddenly screamed, pointing up. Those are geese, someone explained. They're migrating. They sound angry. They're always angry. Canadians weaponized them by being too polite. Balance, they said. That night, the Morgal Empire held an emergency council. Earth is to be classified as a Category X death world, Korthax announced. Not because of its environment, though that would qualify. Not because of its fauna, though that would certainly qualify. But because its dominant species has turned chaos into culture. They don't survive despite their world's dangers, they befriend them. They ride tornadoes for sport. They keep predators as pets. They ferment everything. What is this drink? It burns, and I crave more, one Morgal admitted, clutching a coffee cup. You conquered lava planets. You dodged acid rain. But you didn't survive, Molly, another added, showing claw marks from a house cat. We weren't prepared for imagination with a sugar high, Vex concluded. The official report to the Morgal Empire was brief. Earth, do not attempt. Inhabitants have weaponized everything, including friendship, small talk, and something called memes. They consider deadly activities sports and teach their young to question reality. Their planet should kill them. Instead, they thank it and ask for more. Recommendation, leave immediately. Do not accept their gifts. Especially from the children. Especially the glitter. As their ship departed Earth's orbit, Korthax looked back at the blue marble that had defeated them without firing a shot. You know what the worst part is? He asked Zephix. What's that, sir? Part of me wants to go back. They have something called roller coasters. Apparently, you almost die, but for fun. Sir, no. You're right. He paused. But did you try the pizza? Maybe one more visit. No. We agreed. Earth is too dangerous. But the coffee. No. And so the ultimate Deathworlders fled from Earth, defeated not by weapons or technology, but by a species that looked at the universe's dangers and said, hold my beer. The only trace they left behind was a confused Australian farmer who found an alien scanner in his yard and thought, bloody tourists. He used it as a paperweight. The magpies approved.